You can pull the wool over somebody's eyes for only so long. Even when it comes to lying, which of course is the second nature of the great British politician. So the economy is getting better. There are more people in work, are there? I won't go into the small boats count, as this podcast isn't about that. Reality dawns on us when the numbers come in, and so let's get straight into it. Over the last 14 months or so, claims for universal credit have soared by 1.5 million. The cause? Well, part of it will be fraud. Check on another podcast that we did over the subject, and you can see how it's done. Right?
Yeah. Well,
But mainly,
advisory service. Yeah.
but mainly is a consequence of bad policy by the Chancellor of the Exchequer, adding taxes in ever which way she could on business, which in turn made them let people go or simply not being able to hire new people to grow or expand their businesses. So instead of looking for a job that isn't there, the population is just claiming they have a mental issue and is considering suicide to be able to claim universal credit. Apparently, claiming you have a mental condition is a small price to pay for getting your rent paid by His Majesty's government. The stigma of I have a mental condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's easy to say, and it gets your rent paid for you if you go to universal credit.
Yeah.
The number of claimants not required to look for work rose from 3.06 million in December of 2024 to 4.17 million in December of last year. So it's just over a million.
Mm.
The government said it would be doing some levelling out of benefits this year, but to be honest, on past performances, I don't hold out much hope. And spoiler alert for ne'er-do-wells, my keyboard warriors, let's call them.
Yes.
Mark and I live in Brazil and therefore do not receive universal credit nor any other financial assistance from the
Mm.
UK government.
Yeah. We are really on our own. Yeah. If I don't work, I don't earn any money. Um, yes. It's this is always a problem when you have, I mean, this is the argument partly a lot of Americans have about our extensive, generous welfare state. Now, I've always been the reverse. Whenever I was unemployed in the UK, it took me a hell of a lot of, yeah, I could say gumption, and I was depressed by having to go and ask for help from the state. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I felt when I'm healthy, I feel I'm of sound mind. I let other people decide that on occasions. Actually, I found that people that told me I was crazy ended up, well, I found out we're under doctors, um, doctor for, yeah, said mental disorders. Not going to have a go about that, about people that generally are there. But it is yeah, people will take advantage if you're giving away free money as well. Given to the fact there's now a movement, there's lots of little videos that pop up about people in the UK who's saying, and the US to a point, but the UK saying, why am I going to work anymore? Seriously, why am I going to work? I'm better off under social. I mean, if you consider that you as an individual are a business, if somebody's going to pay you more money to stay at home and watch daytime TV, I would hope people aren't, rather than go to work, get taxed, and end up paying for people to stay at home and watch daytime TV, what are you going to opt for? Yeah, you're going to get your family looked after, like you say, your rent paid, even your mortgage, part your mortgage possibly, and become an expert at playing the system. which we all know never changes. Now, when it comes to health, yeah, there are genuine people. There are people, I know of some, who have a genuine problem, be it physical, they can
But
barely move. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that that can justify the one, the 1.2
that's what I mean.
million.
Yeah,
I'm sure that all of a sudden the whole world haven't been losing their limbs or their
yeah, their faculties. Yeah,
eyes.
yeah,
So, and it's the policy. It's the
mm,
policy of the government
that's what I mean. Yeah,
that it's creating this situation.
yeah. I mean, I mean, what's strange, a lot of companies now actually do have a mental health policy in their over in their policies. I've worked in them they appoint mental health champions who are not necessarily trained psychiatrists, which is a little bit more worrying as well. Um, yeah, I mean, the thing is, these people are very good at picking out. Yeah, oh, this person was a bit down today. Well, we'll have off days. Yeah, even us living in paradise, you and I have off days. Yeah, sometimes we perk each other up. Well, Steve and myself have a slightly different way of support. We just tell each other to get on with it. Yeah, there's no niceties. Yeah, yeah. It's
Get
pretty.
hammered once a week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why are you even talking to me about this? You know, I'm not interested. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's a support group. Yeah, yeah. You got to face life every day. Um, it's too easy to be a victim. Um, and like you say, yeah, you soon learn that when you move to Brazil and you get absolutely nothing. And I support a family here that, yeah, partly it's pride because I'm not relying on other Brazilian members of my family to totally support us. Yeah. Um, even to the point of having to be quite creative at times. And I'm paying taxes, by the way, so yeah, I'm not hiding. Um, it is yeah. I'm afraid, yeah. I mean, politicians tell lies. Now, I've always grown up with the expression, or one thing I've always heard, it's the 90% of politicians that give the 10% a bad name, um, with the way they do things. And I am of the opinion that a lot of politicians go into politics because they're incapable of doing anything else. Yeah. For me, somebody that's been around politics all their entire life, never even worked in a McDonald's, doesn't understand what it's like to have to get up every morning and go and work in a menial job. And yeah, I'm not saying, yeah, people that work at McDonald's, I'm not decrying you. I'm just using an example. There are some very good people that work at McDonald's. McDonald's actually have a good promotional line there. If you're good on the ground,
There are other hamburger joints out there.
yeah,
People
you can
might.
go work for. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these places actually give good. If you prove promise at a lower level, we'll put your supervisor and do we'll give you some good training. That's good overall management experience for other industries as well. Fun enough, yeah. Um, interchangeable skills. Um, being creative. Now, as regards to, as you say, being able to claim, yes, it used to be when even when I was going to go and claim benefits in the UK, and I'll say it took me a long time to do it. I had to sit in front of someone and answer some very, very direct questions. And it was implied to me. The first question they asked me, why is it taking you so long I got told off for it taking so long for me to go and claim. Yeah. Because I was mucking up the system by trying to find work. Yeah. But I was able to prove that I was looking for work. I demonstrated the fact that I've been sending off emails. It's difficult to knock on company doors and say, you've got a job, get us a job. The Yossa from the boys from the black stuff. It's difficult to do that now. But I was sending off, I was using all the skills, all the abilities I had to try and find work again. I did on a couple of occasions. And to keep myself occupied, I actually took some work going around and delivering free papers to people indoors. Yeah, somebody I know said, "Oh, are you looking for something to do?" It wasn't a great fortune. I got to actually walk around an historical part of my city, have a justified excuse to walk up on the paths and have a look at the close-up buildings. So again, it gave me an interest. And this is what you got to do. If you're unemployed, you find interest, you keep yourself motivated. And I was told that's important as well. Now, I do understand when people know or feel that the government is working against them as well. You go and get a job. And a lot of people are in working menial jobs because it's their pride that keeps them there.
Thing is that people can't get the jobs these days, Mark.
That's it. Yes. Yeah, I agree. And that's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to keep this on track with the
Yeah.
rise in universal credit claims is down
Yeah.
to the fact that Rachel Reeves has made it impossible to get a job.
Well,
There's no other. There is no other route, if you like.
yeah. Well,
And the easiest way to claim your benefits is to say that you're mentally disturbed.
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's the old argument. If a company, if a government taxes companies hard, companies can't afford to expand and deploy more people. And this is the point I'm making about politicians don't seem to understand this, or if they do, they ignore it, or they're working on a different agenda. Are they trying to make people dependent upon the state as well? By giving out money. Yeah. And you need us politicians here because without us you can't function.
Well, coming up to every election, the politician has got to be seen to be giving something away. Otherwise, it's not going to turn around to unless it's called Nigel Farage. It's not going to turn around to the population and say, right, I'm going to tax you heavily, and you're going to have to pay an awful lot more money for your council tax because unfortunately we're screwed. We made such a mess of it last time that you're going to have to pay us back for it this time.
Well, yeah, I mean,
what politician is going to say that? They're always going to say it's all hunky dory and your council tax is going down. Whoopee,
yeah.
vote for.
Well, again, okay, I'm going to give an example here. So, like, a centre-right party gets in, that on the face of it is business friendly, wants to reduce the tax burden on everyone. I mean, at least Nigel Farage has been honest and saying if he gets elected this year, it doesn't automatically mean taxes are going to fall because obviously they've got to do the accounting. If suddenly businesses start to turn around, people get back into work, your burden automatically falls, or should do, unless you're importing people from other places in the world. And I mean, maybe it's a case of the British people as well. You may, when school leavers leave school, take the menial job, get used to getting up in the morning. Yeah, I know I'm going off track a bit here. Get used to going up in the morning and doing a cleaning job. If you're in a job, and this is it, it's expectations as well. I'm going to sound very right wing here, and I don't apologize for that. If you can get out of bed to go and do a job you really, really dislike, and I know what you're saying here, it's so like somebody gets in, you're going to jump out of bed to go and do a job you really want to do, like that engineering job or something. But start small, learn businesses, as I said, make yourself useful. But I do agree with you. The current policy the present government have is jobs are disappearing. Even I've noticed that when I look on LinkedIn, jobs in the UK is falling.